Sorry about that, RE Central being RE Central again, but welcome back then guys to this live stream. It is now time for the feature race for IFMC GP2, and if you didn't see what happened in qualifying yesterday, it was quite an interesting qualifying session, but in the end it was Felix Rosenqvist who grabbed pole position with Lando Norris in second and Pierre running out the top three. It was quite close between those three, but in the end Felix managing to get the pole in the end there. Then we've got 39 laps of action here in Barcelona for the feature race. A mandatory pit stop required, and well, the interesting question is, will it still be rainy for this race, or will we have some sunshine? We will wait and see a little bit later on. But as mentioned, 39 laps of action. So before we start then guys, let's mute this, turn this up a little, and let's have a look at the grid for today's feature race here in Spain. Here we go then. So, on pole position, it's Felix Rosenqvist with Lando Norris in second. Pierre lines up in third with Nato in fourth position. George Russell lines up in fifth with fellow compatriot Alex Lynn in sixth. Sean Ghiotto starts in seventh with Nobuharu and Matsushita in eighth. Santiago Ricci starts ninth with Sergey Sirotkin in 10th position. Jolyon Palmer is in 11th with Lance Stroll in 12th. It's then Dan Ticktum who lines up 13th alongside him, Mitch Evans in 14th position. And then it is Luca Ghiotto who starts 15th alongside him, Mick Schumacher, a disappointing 16th. Sasha Fenestraz is 17th with Louis Razia in 18th position. Nyck de Vries is 19th with Yuri Vips in 20th. And on the back row of the grid, it's Luca and due to his qualifying ban, Joel Eriksson is 22nd and last. And that is the grid for the feature race here in Spain. So there is the grid then guys for the feature race, and the weather. Let's quickly have a look. It is bright and sunny, so it has cleared up and we are expecting a dry race. So leave your predictions, but without further ado, let's get to the feature race. So here we are then on the grid then. It is Felix Rosenqvist on the left of your screens. It is Lando Norris on the right who's going to get the lead into turn one as we wait for the 5 red lights to go to signify the start of the race. We have 2 lights are on, 3 lights are on, 4 lights are on, 5 lights are on, and it is go here in for the feature race here in Spain. It seems to be a good start from the front two as we go down towards the first part of the track. Good start from Gasly, who's going to run on Rosenqvist. He now looks to the inside. He's jumped Lando Norris at the start. Side by side go Gasly and Rosenqvist as he head down towards turn one. Has Gasly got the edge on Rosenqvist? Down towards turn one. Rosenqvist trying to stick with him around the outside. A good start from Nato to get up to third. Gasly still side by side with Rosenqvist as they head down towards turn three and he takes it. Gasly leads the feature race here in Barcelona. He takes the lead from Rosenqvist, but Rosenqvist not giving up. Rosenqvist looking back to the inside of Pierre Gasly. He retakes the lead there, so it was brief for Gasly there, but Rosenqvist gets the lead back, but he tucks in behind Nato and Norris looking to pounce as they go, as I think everybody's got through the first few corners safely, and they have done. De Vries bringing up the rear of the field as they go through the left-hander now heading downhill. Nato losing time to Gasly, who's keeping up with Rosenqvist out in front of the moment as they now head up towards the quick turn 8 section now. Then flat out as they go through that right-hander now. Then out the corner heading down towards the back straight now. Then towards the left-hander. Meantime, Norris all over the backside of teammate Nato. Is he going to grab third from his teammate? Nato shutting the door on him there. Lynn defending hard from Russell. Russell had a terrible start. He's down to 6th. Ghiotto and Ricci battling out for 7th place. Stroll getting himself into the top 10. Not a good start from Sirotkin. He's down to 11th place as they go through the final few corners on the track now. Then as they go up towards the final corner, Gasly starting to lose a little bit of time now to the back of Felix Rosenqvist now. And so at the end of the lap run of 39 here in Barcelona, it is Rosenqvist who leads, Gasly in second, Nato third, Norris fourth, Lynn in fifth, Russell sixth, Ghiotto seventh, and Ricci running at the top of his. Meantime, Norris down to the inside of teammate Nato. Is he going to get the move done? Down the inside he goes. There's Russell down the inside of Lynn in towards turn one. Russell grabs fifth and Norris up into third place. So up they go. Ghiotto fends off from Ricci, who was looking to the inside into turn one. Stroll takes ninth from Matsushita. So up into ninth place goes the young Canadian. So positions gain down the straight all the time now. There's down into this corner now. The Ghiotto down the end trying to fend off Down the inside of Lynn, I should say, and Ghiotto takes it. Ghiotto up into 6th place. He passes Lynn, and now Lynn having to fend off from teammate Urishia, as he also has to fend off from Matsushita, as Matsushita retakes 9th from Stroll, so back up to 9th place goes Matsushita, as he continues to fend off from Stroll, who's fending off from Sirotkin, Evans, and Palmer, who have caught up to that fight as well, so a bit of a scrap going on for P6 down there at the moment, as meantime, Nato's starting to lose time to Norris. Now Russell's now all over the backside of Nato. Will Russell try and grab the place? He looks to the inside into turn 9. Unable to do so. Nato shutting the door there as Ghiotto going defensive on Lynn yet again. Lynn trying to find any way through. As meantime, Matsushita fending off as Sirotkin's up to 10th. He passes Stroll, so up to 10th place goes Sergey Sirotkin around the left-hander. He passes his Williams teammate in real life as they went through turn 9. He got the move done as they now head down the pit straight now. And Norris trying to close up onto Gasly if he can. As meantime, Russell on the backside of Nato as they go side by side down towards turn 1. Is Russell going to get the place off Norman Nato as he head down towards turn 1? As meantime, Lynn back down the inside of Ghiotto in towards turn 1 we go. Has he got the place off Nato? No, Nato shutting the door there as Lynn takes 6th from Ghiotto, as does Urishia as well. So both Macamaros getting through on Ghiotto there. Ghiotto drops down to 8th as both Lynn and Urishia move up to 6th and 7th respectively. The Macamaros getting a move on, it appears, as now Sirotkin, who has passed Matsushita, is now having a go at and Ghiotto for P8, unable to do so. Ghiotto fending off from his old team there as Sirotkin unable to find a way through on Ghiotto that time around. Matsushita, Stroll and Palmer keeping honest right behind at the moment. Meantime, Evans coming under threat from Schumacher at this stage at the moment, as there's a whole train of cars down at this bit at the moment. Luca Ghiotto bringing up the rear of the field in the VorteX car now, and his teammates fending off, and Mick Schumacher who's making his way through the field after a tricky qualifying session yesterday, after only qualifying 16. Meantime, Russell back on the prow of Norman Nato as he heads down the straight again. Nato fending off, he is not letting him go any way, shape or form, as Urishia trying to find a way through on teammate Lynn. Ghiotto again going defensive. Sirotkin putting on a lot of pressure as they now head up towards the final 3 corners on the track now, then up towards the second to last corner we will go, as a lot of defensiveness going on. Meantime, Evans and Schumacher going side by side for 13th now, and then Schumacher trying to get the legs on Evans if he can round the final corner as they go side by side down the pit straight. Meantime, it's Russell alongside Nato. He is side by side. It goes Urishia looking to the inside of Lynn. Down the pit straight we go. Russell, can he get the move done on Nato this time? Down the inside again. Nato fends off from him there. Urishia gets up to 6th. He passes Lane. So up to P6 goes Santiago Urishia. Sirotkin unable to find a way through on Ghiotto shutting the doors. We've got a yellow flag. We've got a yellow flag down at turn 1. Who's the culprit? We've got a yellow. And we have a yellow flag down at these corners. Who is the culprit as they go through these corners? And trying to find where the yellow flag is located. There's the yellow. But who's the culprit? As we're trying to find who it is who has caused the yellow flag. There is a marshal down at that bit there. I wonder if somebody's gone straight on down at this right-hander. There's the yellow flag still, and it's Rosenqvist. The race leader has spun. Felix Rosenqvist has spun from the lead. Pierre Gasly leads again in the feature race. He has just binned it down at turn 3. He's essentially bottled a chance of the feature race victory here. Not a way to pay tribute to the team boss's grandfather, who passed away a fortnight ago. And, well, Felix Rosenqvist has binned it from the lead of the race. Has he beached the car in any way, shape or form? And, well, Gasly now finds himself leading again in this feature race. And Rosenqvist, well, he's unable to do so. He's beached the car. Felix Rosenqvist is out of the feature race. Unbelievable. He is out of the feature race. And we're down to 21 runners here in Barcelona. Gasly now leads in the Ecademy. And, well, dramatic scenes. Rosenqvist has binned possibly an easy feature race victory here in Barcelona. And it's all come down to naught. And, well, what a shame for him, really, as a result. It puts Sirotkin now into the points in the East Midlands racing car, and they're hoisting it over onto the other side of the barrier. Meantime, Norris now having to try and close up to Gasly as a result. Meantime, Fenestrat looking to the inside of Luca Ghiotto for P20 now then, as they go through the left-hander. Euro sticking with him, and Euro keeping hold of 20th place. For the moment in this race. Meantime, Sirotkin back on the prowl of Ghiotto. As meantime, Lynn not giving up on Urishia. As unseen by the cameras, Russell has passed Nato. So up into 3rd place goes George Russell. He finally gets the move done on Nato. And Nato not close enough to make a move on him there. As meantime, down the inside goes Alex Lynn on Euricia, and he retakes the place up to 5th place. Goes Alex Lynn as Sirotkin finally makes the move on Ghiotto. Up into 7th place goes Sergey. Sirotkin, he gets the move done on Sean Ghiotto. And now Ghiotto having to fend off from Lance Stroll, who had repassed Matsushita unseen by the cameras, and now Palmer's into that scrap as well. As now down the inside goes Stroll on Ghiotto now, then to go through the right-hander, but Ghiotto able to hang it around the outside and keep hold of 8th place for the time being now then. As they head down the hill now then, as we are now on lap 5 of 39 here in this feature race, and at the moment the leaderboard looks like this after Rosenqvist's retirement from the lead. It's Gasly who now leads, from Norris in 2nd, Russell 3rd, with Nato 4th, it's Lynn 5th, Euricia in 6th, Sirotkin 7th, Ghiotto 8th, Stroll 9th, Matsushita 10th, Palmer 11th, Schumacher 12th, he's past Evans 13th, Tickton 14th, Ghiotto 15th, Vip 16th, Razia 17th, Ericsson 18th, Vries 19th, Fenestras 20th, finally getting by Nyck, who's now 21st in the only retirement of course, beating Felix Rosenqvist from the lead of the race. As meantime, Schumacher is now starting to close up a tad bit now, as they now go through the pit straight now. Then Gasly now on lap 6 of the race now then, and looking to see if he can try and fend off from Lando Norris's Lightbase Sony racing car. Norris looking for a 2nd victory of the season, as Gasly goes through the first few corners on the track now. Then up towards turn 3 goes Pierre Gasly, and trying to get the car turned in there as best as possible. Norris currently 2nd at the moment. Here's Russell 3rd. The top 4 sort of breaking away a little bit as Euricia retakes 5th from Alex Lynn, but Lynn not giving up on him now. Then Lynn back down the inside of his teammate. Will he try and reclaim 5th place from his teammate? No, Euricia able to hang it around the outside and keep hold of 5th place from his teammate. Meantime, Ghiotto still in 8th place as Matsushita retakes 9th from Stroll down at turn number 5, so back up to 9th place goes Nobuharu. Matsushita. Evans retakes 12th from Mick. Schumacher, so back up to 12th goes Mitch Evans, at the same place where Matsushita repassed Stroll, which was turn 5. Seems to be a common place where the overtaking is going to happen then in this race. In the meantime, Stroll back on the prow of Nobuharu and Matsushita as they now head down the back straight towards the left-hander. Stroll back down the inside of Matsushita. Will he get the job done? No, Matsushita fending off the inside and keeping on the Stroll from the time being now then, as they go up towards the final few corners on the track now then. And now through the corner now then, will Stroll try and grab the place back off Nobuharu and Matsushita, or will Palmer now fancy his chances on Stroll as they go down towards the final corner? In fact, Evans is now lining up an attack on Jolyon Palmer now, then as they head down the pit straight now then, as now they go down towards turn 1 on the track now then. As meantime, looks like Euricia's pulled a bit of a gap now to Lynn. Sirotkin's now starting to close him onto Lynn. Meantime, now Stroll down the inside of Matsushita. Will he get the job done? And he does so. Back up to 9th place goes Lance Stroll in the GRM Junior. And now will Palmer and Evans take advantage if they can? Will Schumacher try and close up with the 2 other cars that are closing him down as well? As out goes Yuri Vips. Yuri Vips is out of the race. What's happened to the RSPCA racing driver? And he's made contact with Louis Razia. It looks like both Vips and Razia hit each other. And, well, Vips has beached it into the gravel. It'll be interesting to see how that one was caused. But Vips is out of the race and we're down to 20 runners, unless Razia is also out of the race as well. Let's have a look, and it wasn't seen. We were unable to see what on earth happened, so we will never know who caused the accident. But whatever the case, Razia has, and Vips look to have made contact. Who caused it, we'll never know. But Razia looks to have kept it going, but now he's found himself into the gravel and struggling to rejoin again. And, well, that's that really now then. We'll try and get there as best as we can. Is Razia beaching the car now then? And if he's not careful, he might be a lap down soon from race leader Pierre Gasly. Razia struggling to get the car going, as there is Vips's car being hoisted over the barriers. And Razia finally manages to find a gear and gets going again. But he's now down in last place in 20th. As a result, meantime, no changes here for this battle as well. Ghiotto and it was Tickton is catching back up to this train of cars that are fighting it out for P8 in this race, because Stroll's now starting to close up now onto Sean Ghiotto for 8th place. As meantime, down the inside goes Jolyon Palmer on Nobuharu Matsushita as they go down through the left-hander, and he takes the place. A brilliant pass from Palmer up into 10th place goes Jolyon Palmer, as now Matsushita having to fend off now from Mitch Evans and Mick Schumacher, who are all over the backside. Evans and Schumacher trying to make their way through the field after disappointing qualifying sessions, both qualifying 14th and 16th respectively in qualifying, as they now head down the straight. Meantime, Ghiotto all over the backside have ticked him for P14 as they head down the straight. Meantime, Sirotkin down the inside of Alex Lynn. Now they will Sirotkin get the place of Alex Lynn, and he does so. Up to 6th place goes Sergey Sirotkin in the Midlands racing car, making a very good race at the moment, getting himself up to 6th place at the moment. As up to 8th place goes Lance Stroll. He gets into the points. Up to P8 goes the teenage Canadian. Up into 8th place goes Lance Stroll. As meantime, Evans is taking a line from Matsushita. Up to P11 goes Mitch Evans. As now Matsushita having to fend off a Mick Schumacher. And even Evans did the same with Matsushita in case he tried to find a way through again. As Ghiotto's up to 14th. He passes, ticked him. So up to P14 goes the young Italian of Luca Ghiotto, getting the move done on Daniel Ticktum in the RSPCA racing car now then, as they now go through the left and right hander. Now they're on the track. Sirotkin now starting to get away a little bit from Len as he now tries to close up on Santiago Euricia in front. Meantime, Russell starting to close in onto Lando Norris for P2. Norris has just been struggling to close up onto Gasly at this stage of the race, and it now looks like that Russell's starting to reel in Lando Norris for P2 in this race as he now go through the last two corners on the track now then. And we'll have a look in a little bit to see what the gap is like between the pair of them. In terms of the mandatory pit stops, I expect it to come around about lap number, I would say lap number 20 to 26. We will see the mandatory pit stops come into an effect. What is the gap between Norris and Russell as they head down towards the first few corners? And it's 0.9 seconds. It's under a second between the two Brits of Norris and Russell at this stage, as the pair of them occupy the last two slots on the podium at this stage. But there's still a long way to go in this feature race. Anything could happen, and in racing it usually does this. Up into 9th place goes Jolyon Palmer. He's passed Matsushita down to turn 1. In fact, Goliath, sorry, not Matsushita, passed him earlier. Up into 9th place goes Jolyon Palmer. Now Matsushita, who has repassed Mitch Evans, unseen by the cameras, into turn 1, is now all over the backside of teammate Sean Goliath as they now go up towards the left-hander on the track. Through the corner then we will go out of the corner, heading down towards the sections of Quasana. Ghiotto now all over the backside of Schumacher for P13 in this race as he'll now approach the left and right hander now then up towards the daunting turn 8 now then on the track. As they now head down the straight, will Matsushita try and launch a pass on Goliath? Will Evans try and get back on Matsushita? Goliath goes defensive. Matsushita's flicking back down to the inside. Is Matsushita going to get the move done on Goliath? Down the inside, both of them wearing red helmets. And has Matsushita got the place? Goliath still sticking with his teammate, Teambox James Croft, hoping that they both don't collide at this stage as they now go up towards the second last corner. And that's a beautiful pass from Matsushita up into P10. Goes the young Japanese driver, and now Goliath having to fend off for Mitch Evans. Evans now on the toe of Sean Goliath as he head down the straight. Ghiotto also all over the backside of Mick Schumacher. He's even looking to the inside as well. Down the inside goes Evans. Will he get the place off Goliath? In towards turn 1 we go, and he does. Up into 11th place goes Mitch Evans, and Ghiotto takes 13 from Mick Schumacher. So up to P13 goes Luca Ghiotto. Can he try and find a move on Sean Goliath now? Goliath's just losing places left, right and centre in that Holy Trinity racing car now then as they head down towards turn 4 on the track. Ghiotto has a little look, but Goliath shutting the door there and keeping hold of 12th place at this stage. Schumacher ticked him, and now even Vries has started to close back in to this battle. This is an amazing scrap of the medals. Meantime, Lynn is now coming under pressure from Lance Stroll, who's trying to take 7th from the Macamo now as they go through turn 6 and 7 on the track now then. Palmer looking to see if he can close up to this battle as well, as Lynn's just pretty much holding up Stroll. An absolute treat now in this race as they go down to the back straight now. Then will Stroll make the move stick as he goes down to the inside of Lynn? Would he get the place of Alex Lynn down the inside? And he does so. Up into 7th place goes Lance Stroll in the GRM Junior. But it looks like Lynn's still keeping up with him. Lynn trying to see if he can get him back down the pit straight perhaps, as now Palmer, his fellow compatriot, has now caught up onto that battle, as now he's now clung on to the battle himself now. Then meantime, Evans all over the backside of Sean Goliath. Would he try and get the place off him? Is now Ghiotto trying to fancy his chances on Sean Goliath as he head down the straight. Will Lynn try and find a way back through on Lance Stroll as he head down the pit straight? He gets into the slipstream with the young Canadian. Stroll goes offensive. Lynn flicking back down to the inside into turn 1, and he does so. Lynn retakes 7th from Stroll, back up to 7th place. Goes Lynn now. Then there's Palmer's now all over the backside of Stroll. And unable to make the move there was Evans on Matsushita there. And Ghiotto still struggling to find a way through on Sean Goliath at this stage. Lance going back down the inside of Lynn. Will he retake 7th from Alex Lynn now then? As going through the right-hander, we will go now, and he does it. Up into 7th place goes Lance Stroll once again, and now Lynn coming under pressure from Palmer. As a result, Ghiotto still unable to find a way through on Sean Goliath. Now it's brought Mick Schumacher into that fight, as well as Vries and Ticktum languish it out for P15. On seen by the cameras, Vries got the pass done on Ticktum and gets up to 15th place. As now Sasha Fenestraz is starting to close up onto that fight as well. Meantime, Palmer all over the backside of Lynn. Will he try and grab 8th place from the Makama car? Lynn fending off the inside, and rightfully so, keeping hold of 8th place from Jolyon Palmer at the moment. As they now go through the last few corners of the track. And Gasly's down to 4th. What's happened to Gasly? Gasly's got a loose wheel. Pierre Gasly has got a loose wheel. Lando Norris leads. That's the second leader who's run into problems. And after looking like the victory could have been his to take his first victory since Season 2, it's gone to nothing now. Gasly has got a loose wheel and has to come into the pits to repair it. Or is the problem too terminal? Norris finds himself leading the race. Gasly into the pits to repair the loose wheel. And that is a victory down the toilet from the young Frenchman. And that's that really. Gasly has just essentially now been robbed of a victory, and it looks like it's going to have to be a 2-stop race, because as we know, the GP2 guys don't have big enough fuel tanks to get to the end of the race. Although, having said that, it looks like that Gasly did enough laps for him to be fueled up to go to the end of the race. So it might not be over yet for Gasly. It could be a change of strategy. If he can get himself up the field very quickly, he could get himself in a very high points position. Whether he'll get the victory is still questionable. Maybe you're in a podium, I don't know. We will wait and see. But Gasly is going to rejoin in 19th place, of course, because Razia is all the way down in 20th after making that contact unseen by the cameras with Yuri Vips, which has caused Vips' retirement. We don't know who caused that, so unfortunately, no investigations there, I'm afraid. And look at this now, Norris leads, but look at Russell. We've now got a fight for the lead as a result of Gasly's loose wheel, as the two Brits fight amongst themselves for the lead of this race now. Then as they head down towards the left-hander, Russell still not close enough to make a pounce on Norris at this stage. Both Lightbase Sony racing cars occupying the podiums in 1st and 3rd of the Mariners. Meantime, Urisha fending off from Sirotkin. He's fighting him off for 4th place at the Mariners. Sirotkin's having a fantastic race in the East Midlands racing car. Stroll up to 6th place, lifts Palmer up to 7th, and Matsushita into the points as he's passed Lynn on seen by the cameras into turn 8, so up into P8 goes Nobuharu. Matsushita finding himself back into the points as Evans is Ghiotto has finally taken Goliath, so he's up into 11th place. As now Schumacher and Vries are trying to fight with him as Joel Eriksson, that is, sorry, not Sasha Fenestraz. Eriksson making a good fight back through the field. He's now all over the backside of Dan Ticktum for P15 now as he head down the straight as down the inside goes as Sirotkin got the place. Now Urisha holding him off for the moment as Stroll's getting closer to that battle as Lynn fending off from Mitch Evans at the moment as Schumacher takes 12th from Goliath, so up into 12th place goes Mick Schumacher, but will Goliath try and get him back into turn 4? Will he stay within his slipstream as they go through towards turn 4? Goliath flicks it back to the inside into turn 4, but Schumacher having none of that and keeps hold of 12th place, and now Vries is all over the backside. As meantime, Eriksson down the inside of Ticktum as they go towards the left-hander. Ticktum still sticking with him as they go through turn 5 now then, and as you can see, Euro's getting close in the VorteX racing car to this battle now then. As they head down towards turn 6 and 7, Ticktum still sticking with Eriksson. They're still side by side through turn 6 and 7. Euro now right onto the back of this battle, and Eriksson gets the place. Eriksson up to 15, but will Ticktum try and get him onto the back straight? I wouldn't be surprised if he does it now. Evans trying to find a way through on Lynn there, but unable to do so. Ghiotto now getting close to that battle, and up into 4th place goes Sergey Sirotkin into turn number 10. He gets the move done, and Sirotkin up to 4th, and now Urisha coming under threat from Lance Stroll. These two are having a fantastic race, as is Jolyon Palmer as well. As they go down the pitch straight, will Stroll get the place of Santiago Urisha as he head down the pitch straight? Side by side they go towards turns 1, 2 and 3 on the track. What an exciting feature race we have here. Stroll trying to get the place, but Urisha looks like he's got enough of an edge and keeping hold of 5th place for the time being. Meantime, Ghiotto trying to look to the inside of Evans, but Evans shutting the door there in towards turn 1. Vries getting the door shut there on Goliath as Ticktum retakes 15th from Eriksson, and now Euro fancying his chances, as is Eriksson's teammate Sasha Fenestraz, who's closing up to this fight now. at this stage. Ghiotto's now down the pit straight, getting closer to that pack. As meantime, the two leaders out in front. Russell still not close enough into the slipstream of Lando Norris at this stage. As they go through the right-hander, now they're heading down the back straight. As meantime, Stroll back on the prowl of Santiago Urrutia. Will he try and grab the place of... Will he try and grab the place of Urrutia now that as they go down towards left hand? Stroll now looking to the inside, and again Urrutia just shutting the door on him there and keeping hold of 5th place for the time being. And Palmer and Matsushita getting close. As a result, as on seen by the cameras, Ghiotto's up to 10th. He passes Evans, so Ghiotto now finds himself into the top 10. As Danny inside goes to Vries on Ghiotto. Will he get the place? No, Ghiotto fends him off and keeps hold of 13th place for the moment in this race. As now Fenestrad's getting close to Euro now. In this race, what's the gap between Russell and Norris? It's 0.8 seconds between the two leaders as we're on lap 15 of 39 in this feature race now. Then Sirotkin looking to see if he can try and close up on 3rd place man Nato, as Stroll's now losing time a little bit to Santiago Urrutia. And Palmer and Matsushita now getting close to the young Canadian, as Evans tried to have a look again on Ghiotto, but Evans unable to make the move stick, and same with De Vries on Ghiotto there as they go through turn 3. On the track now, will Evans try and get the place of Ghiotto again as they go through towards turn 4? Ghiotto going defensive and keeping all of that place as Ghiotto is focusing on trying to get Lynn for P9 in the Macamo car. Schumacher getting close now to that battle, as well as side by side go De Vries and Ghiotto again as they go down towards the left hand there. De Vries trying to hang it around the outside, trying to make his way through the field after a disappointing qualifying session, which only saw him qualify in 19th yesterday. In towards turn 6 and 7, around the outside goes the young Dutchman. Has De Vries got the place? And he has. Up into P13 goes Nyck De Vries, and now Ticktum trying to find a way through on Ghiotto, but unable to do so, and even dragging Ericsson into that fight as well as he had down the straight. Ericsson tries to look to the inside of Ticktum, but not close enough to make a pass on him that time around. Evans still struggling to find a way by on Ghiotto for P10, trying to retake the place of him if he can. Stroll closing back up to the slipstream now as Santiago Urrutia as they go through the final corner and onto the pit straight. We will go. Meantime, how are the leaders doing? Well, Russell still it's now up to 1 second, so Norris is responding and up the pace by 0.2 of a second, as now Stroll right on the prow of Santiago Urrutia, and again not close enough to make the pass that time around. Meantime, Ghiotto down the inside of Alex Lynn. Would he get the place? No, Lynn shutting the door on him there, and Lynn keeping on the 9th place. Evans getting a bit closer to that, as is Mick Schumacher in the Ecademy car as they go through towards turn 3 on the track. Up towards turn 4, will Ghiotto get the place of Alex Lynn? Now down the inside goes the Italian. Has he got the place of the Macamo? And he has. Up into 9th place goes Luca Ghiotto. Evans trying to follow through if he can, but unable to do so as they now head down towards turn 5 on the track. Out of the corner we go now, then heading downhill, and a little bit of a lock up there for Mick Schumacher out of the corner there. So pushing hard is Mick Schumacher as we now go through towards turn 6 and 7 on the track. As now they will go up towards turn 8. Evans now right onto the backside of Alex Lynn for P10. Will Evans get the move done on his fellow Formula E racer in real life? Evans now looking to the inside of Lynn. Danny inside, he will go. Can the Kiwi get the move done? Danny inside he goes, and Lynn still hanging it around the outside, and Evans just had enough drive down the inside, and Evans up into 10th place. He gets the move done, and into the top 10 goes Mitch Evans. Now Schumacher wanting a piece of Lynn if he can for P11 as they go through the final 2 corners on the track. Schumacher doing whatever he can to get the place of Alex Lynn in this race. Round the final corner and onto the pit straight we will go. Schumacher now then right into the slipstream of Lynn. Will he get the place of Alex Lynn as he head down the pit straight? As you can see there, Stroll, I think Stroll's actually passed Urrutia. He has. Up into 5th place goes Stroll. Maybe down at turn 8 it was. Up to 5th place goes Lance Stroll. And now Palmer's on the backside of Urrutia as Schumacher takes 11 from Lynn down to turn 1. So up into 11th place goes Mick Schumacher as he's now right onto the backside of Mitch Evans again for P10. Evans going defensive towards turn number 4 on the track now. Then out the corner we go. Up towards turn 5. As Palmer's getting closer now to the back of Santiago Urrutia for P6 in this race. As meantime, Russell struggling to get onto the backside of Norris. Norris just seems to be responding to Russell's pace in this race as they now head towards the left-hander on the track. And out the corner we go, up towards the final 3 corners on the track. Go the 2 Brits now then, who lead the way at the moment. And they will now go up towards the final 2 corners then on the track. Up towards the final corner goes Russell. What's the gap between him and his fellow compatriot as they start lap 18 of 39 in this race? So including this lap, we now have 22 laps remaining in this feature race, and the gap between them as they head towards turns 1, 2 and 3 is now, let's have a look, 1.2 seconds. So Norris continuing to increase the gap out in front of the moment. Meantime, Palmer all over the backside of Lirisha. Will he get the place off him? And it looks like Palmer not close enough to him that time around. He's got to work hard to try and get him back if he can. As meantime, Schumacher now all over the backside. He flicks it to the inside of Evans. Would he try and grab 10th from Evans? Not quite. Evans just able to hang it around the outside and keep hold of 10th place from Mitch Evans. Mitch Evans holding on to 10th from Mick Schumacher, as now Lynn finds himself back on the prowl of Mick Schumacher as they go up towards the turn number 4 now. Then Lynn flicking it back down the inside of Schumacher, unable to do so, and Schumacher holds off to P11 for the time being now then, and Lynn having to try again if he can, as De Vries is now starting to close onto that battle. Ghiotto still doing a good job fending off Tickton at this stage. Ericsson dropping back, unseen by the cameras. Fenestraz is taking 17th from Joas up to the P17. Goes Sasha Fenestraz. It might have been just now, in fact, because it looked like there was some movement between them. So he looks to have passed him down at turn 4, so up to P17 goes Sasha Fenestraz, as Gasly trying his best to get up close if he can. He's fuel to the end of the race, let's not forget, as he tries to close that gap back in as best as he can, as he'll have fuel to get to the end and looking for a points finish if he can, as he goes through turn 6 and 7 on the track. Razia still struggling to close up at this stage, hasn't got the pace compared to Pierre at this stage, as in around about a couple of laps time we should expect the mandatory pit stops to get underway, as again Norris ups the gap by another 10th. It's now up to 1.3 seconds between himself and George Russell at this stage now. Then there's Palmer's up to 6th. He gets by on Matsushita, in fact, or is that because Yurishi's into the pit? That's why Yurishi is in, as Matsushita's all over the backside of Palmer as well for that place. So Yurisha hoping to stay in front of Palmer after this pit stop. Evans into the pits now for a mandatory pit stop, hoping to see if he can make a lot of jumps in the pits. Ghiotto also in as well. Ghiotto staying in front of Evans after that stop, as is Yurisha on the pair of them. And through goes Pierre Gasly, so he's up to 16th, so he gets in front of all 3 of those guys. And Yurisha rejoins in 17th, Ghiotto 18th, and Evans is going to rejoin in 19th place. And still in front of Razia, who is scheduled for the stop, and I wouldn't be surprised if Razia will end up being a lap down by the end of this race. Meantime, here are the top 2 out in front, as meantime Matsushita piling the pressure on Palmer again for P6. It's Willows Grand Prix versus Holy Trinity Racing, as they will now approach the left-hander on the track, as through towards turn 10 and 11, sorry, turns 9 and 10 on the track. And Matsushita looking to try and see if he can line him up down the straight, but in fact Palmer's actually pitting this lap. In fact, a few cars are as well. Russell's pitting at the end of the next lap. Into the pits comes 4th place man Sergey Sirotkin, who's having a great race in the East Midlands racing car after only qualifying 10th. Let's see how quick the stop's going to be then for Sergey Sirotkin, as he puts on a fresh set of tyres and fuel. Also in is Lance Stroll, also in is Jolyon Palmer in the Willows Grand Prix car, as it looks like the VorteX racing mechanics are ready for, looks to be Luca, because Mitch Evans pitted the lap before. Where is Sirotkin going to rejoin in after this stop? Where's Gasly on track? That's the main question. And Gasly is nowhere to be found at the moment. No, there he is. Will Sirotkin just be able to get in front of Gasly, or Gasly just have enough? And Gasly just has enough in him, so Gasly able to get in front of Sirotkin, and now Gasly finds himself back into the top 10 as a result. And Sirotkin still in front of Yurisha after that stop. Palmer unable to get the jump on Yurisha, and now finds himself with Ghiotto all over him after his stop. So now Ghiotto fancying his chances at the pit stop. Ghiotto even leapfrogging Stroll, so Stroll's lost a lot of time in the pits because Palmer's even leapfrogged him as well. As down the inside goes Ghiotto on Palmer. Will he grab 13th from the Brit? Down the inside goes Ghiotto, and he does so. Up to P13 goes Luca Ghiotto in the East Midlands racing car, and now Stroll and Evans, who's even also lost some time in the pits, trying to catch back up to Palmer if they can, as Euro rejoining 17th, and Ghiotto has lost a lot of time in the pits because he's now down in 18th, still in front of Fenestraz, but still losing a lot of time in the pits. As a result, as in the pit comes George Russell as he tries to jump Norris into the pits. I think Norris is also in as well, so it's a battle between the Red Bull Academy and Lightbase Sony Racing Mechanics, and Norris was finished, but he had to wait for Matsushita to come down the pit lane. And will that give Russell the lead? And he has. Russell has jumped Norris in the pit lane, and Russell is taking full advantage of the hold-up, and Russell, but where's Gasly on the track? That's the question. Gasly is, well, Gasly's nowhere to be seen at the moment. He's down the pit straight, so those two aren't worried about that, but Russell is ahead of Norris and will be in a provisional lead of the race once Nato makes his pit stop. Russell has taken advantage of Norris being held up in the pits, and Russell looking to be the third different winner this season, as meantime, Gasly is in 4th place, but he's got Sirotkin all over the backside of him now for P4. It's Ecademy versus EMR in this race now then, as Ticktum is in for his scheduled stop. Palmer 7th. Ghiotto now finds himself into the points, so both EMRs are now into the points in this race. Meantime, Stroll down the inside of Matsushita. Will he grab the place off him now then? No, I'm not able to. Matsushita keeping on the 9th. He's also leapfrog Stroll and Evans in this race. And that's that. Schumacher, of course, losing time as well in the pit stops. So that's that. Lynn now down to 14th at the pit stop. So he's lost a heap of time in the pits. As Jura and Ericsson and even Ticktum fight it out for P15. Ghiotto trying to close back up and try and make his way back through the field. Razia making his stop down in last into the pits. Comes Norman Nato from the lead of the race now then. It should give the lead to George Russell. Where is Nato going to rejoin then after this pit stop now then? And it is a 10.2 second stop for Norman Nato. Russell comes down pit straight. He's now going to lead the race here in Barcelona. His teammate goes through into 2nd. But will Nato get out in front of fellow compatriot Gasly? Gasly comes down the pit straight, but he's battling with Sirotkin. He's going to get tight. I think Nato's still going to be in front, so Nato holds on to 3rd, but Sirotkin now down the inside of Pierre Gasly. Will he get the move done on the Frenchman? His head down towards turn 1, down the inside, and he's still sticking with him, but Gasly able to hang it around the outside and keep hold of 4th place in this race. And now Euricia and Palmer are now starting to close up on this battle. It seemed that somebody else was into the pits as Lynn tried to have a go at Vries but unable to do so. As meantime, Danny inside goes Luca on Joel Eriksson, and he takes 16th off him as a result. But meantime, Danny inside goes Sirotkin, and he takes it. Sirotkin up to 4th place. He gets the move done on Pierre Gasly, and up to 4th goes Sergey Sirotkin in this race. But Gasly's still sticking with him in the Academy car. Remember, he's on all the tyres than what Sirotkin is, so maybe some preservation may be needed in this race for Pierre Gasly. He's now starting to lose time now to Sergey Sirotkin, and maybe Euricia could start to close him, and even Palmer and Matsushita as he takes the place off Ghiotto. So Ghiotto uses that points place. Matsushita up to P8 and Ghiotto down to 9th as a result. Evans and Schumacher now trying to close up onto the Italians, especially Cam, Schumacher starting to get into the slitching of Evans more than what Evans is on Ghiotto in front. So some close action going on as they go through the final 3 corners on the track now then. And I don't know if everybody's finished off their mandatory pit stop. I presume they have, but that's that then, mini. So, but now George Russell now leads here in Barcelona, taking advantage of the hold up that Norris had in the pits. As meantime, is Palmer going to have a lunge at Euricia for P7? It doesn't look like Palmer is close enough this time around, so that's a hang back for now as they go through the first few corners on the track. And meantime, Schumacher getting close, but unable to make the pass on Evans that time around as they go up towards turn 3 on the track. And Mick Schumacher doing whatever he can to get the move done on Mitch Evans as he now looks to the inside of Evans. Can he get the move done? And yes, he can. Schumacher up into P10. He gets the move done on Evans, and now Schumacher finds himself back into the top 10 as a result, as he now just goes through turn number 5 on the track. So now into the top 10 goes Mick Schumacher in this race now then. As Stroll is down to 13th because on team by the cameras, Vries has passed him. So up into 12th place goes Nyck Vries, and now Lynn's started to close up on Stroll now to try and get him for 13th place. As meantime, Jura and Ericsson continuing to fight it out for 16th. Ericsson on team by the cameras retook 16th from Lucas Jura, so back up to 16th place goes Joel Eriksson. Goliath and Fenestras trying to close up onto Jura for P17 if they can. So a little bit of a battle going on towards the back of the field. Meantime now then, here is Palmer. Can he try and line up Euricia for a pass this time around for P6 in the race as they head down the pit straight? Will he get the move done as they now head down towards turn 1 on the track? Palmer now looking to the inside of Santiago Euricia. Is it going to be P6 for him now? Then does he head down towards turn 1? And he does so. Up into 6th place goes Jolyon Palmer, and now trying to close up onto Gasly for P5 if he can, as they go out of turn 2 and around turn 3 they go. And but meantime, Euricia still sticking with Palmer. Will he try and grab 6th place back off the Brit in towards turn number 4. No, Palmer going defensive through there, and Palmer keeping hold of 6th place as he tries to hunt down Gasly for P5 in the race now. As they go through towards turn 5 on the track, as they now head downhill towards the left-hander, which isn't classed as a corner on this track now. Then down towards turn 6 we go, flicking the car in, and now up towards the right-hander we will go. And Urishi is starting to lose time a bit now to Jolyon Palmer. Now Matsushita is starting to get onto the backside of him. And now Palmer on the slick shear of Gasly. We try and grab 5th from the Frenchman. Down in towards turn 9. No, Gasly fends off and keeps hold of 5th place for the time being. Now then as they head out of the corner towards the final 4 corners on the track. And now through the turn 11 we will go up towards the second to last corner. We'll go Palmer and Gasly. Palmer now then all over the backside of the Frenchman as Matsushita's all over the backside of Urishi. Now then through the final corner and onto the pit straight we will go. Will Palmer get the move done on Pierre Gasly now then as they go side by side? Matsushita looking to the inside of Urishi. Is he going to get the move done? As Sirotkin looking quite lonely in 4th place at the moment. Side by side go Palmer and Gasly. Will he get the move done? Down the inside goes Palmer. Will he get 5th from Gasly? And he does so. Up into 5th place goes Jolyon Palmer as Urishi fends off from Matsushita for the time being. Matsushita unable to make the move stick that time around. Ghiotto and Schumacher trying to close up as best as possible as now Vries is coming up towards the back of Mitch Evans for P11 as we tied down the inside. Goes Matsushita on Urishi. Will he get the move done? No, again Urishi shutting the door in turn 4 and keeping hold of 7th place from the Japanese driver at the moment, as now Ghiotto is getting closer now to that battle, as is Mick Schumacher as well. He's closing up to the back of Ghiotto for P9, trying to get a points finish if he can. As now through towards the left-hander we go. Vries now right onto the backside of Mitch Evans for P11 in this race. Now then Palmer pulling a bit of a gap now to Gasly. Gasly's tyres definitely wearing out as a result of being on them longer than what the rest of the guys are due to the impromptu pit stop he had to repair a loose wheel, which inevitably cost him the victory, it must be said. Matsushita now then looking to the inside of Santiago Urishi, and he gets the place. Up into 7th place goes Nobuharu Matsushita, finally getting the job done on the Uruguay driver. And now Urishi finds himself into the clutches of Luca Ghiotto. In a way, this is kind of like a battle to see who's going to get pole position for the sprint race tomorrow, as we now go through towards the second to last corner. Round the final corner then we'll go. Luca Ghiotto, will he get the place off Santiago Urishi? And it looked like he made a mistake coming out of that corner there, because he's got bad traction out the corner. Now it's putting prey to Mick Schumacher. Schumacher, will he try and take advantage of Ghiotto's mistake into the final corner? Down the inside goes Mick Schumacher. Will he get the place of the Italian down the inside? And he does so. Schumacher up into 9th place. And now trying to clutch up to Urishi if he can, as Vries takes 11th from Evans into turn 1. So up into P11 goes Nyck Vries. And now Evans has got to be aware of his teammate Vries' teammate Lance Stroll. So now Evans finds himself in a GRM Junior sandwich at this stage. And meantime Ticktum fending off from Ericsson, who's rekindled his battle with Dan Ticktum in this race, as they now go through the right-hander now then on the track. And that's that really at this stage. Meantime, Matsushita all over the backside of Gasly. You can tell how much the tyres have affected Gasly in this race, having been on them longer than the rest of them, because now Matsushita is all over the backside. Will he try and grab 6th from the Frenchman? Now then, down the inside goes Matsushita. Will he grab the place off him? No, not quite. Gasly fending off for the time being. And now Schumacher is starting to close up now onto Urishi, and even Ghiotto is now still keeping up with Schumacher, wanted to get the place back off him if he can. Evans still unable to find a way through on Vries. So that's that at this stage. We turn Russell continuing to lead the race, as he's got a 2.6 second lead in front of Lando Norris, who are on lap 27 of 39 here in this race. We have 13 laps to go here in the feature race, and we are 16 minutes away from the 3 o'clock mark. Well, now 15 minutes away from it, and we are 45 minutes away from the first ever race of the new season for IFMC GP3. As Russell continuing to lead out in front as he looks to try and take his first ever IFMC GP2 victory, and Red Bull Academy's first ever as well, if he can just keep it up out in front of the main. As meantime, up into 6th place goes Nobuharu Matsushita. He's got the move done, probably down at turn 1, and up into 6th place goes Nobuharu Matsushita. And now Urishi, as a result of Matsushita passing Gasly, Urishi now finds himself in an Ecademy sandwich, as he's got Schumacher right all over him to pounce, and even Ghiotto fancies his chances right behind this battle as well, as they go through turn 6 and 7 on the track, through towards the right-hander we go. Gasly starting to lose time a bit from Nobuharu and Matsushita as they now head down towards the back straight. Now then Schumacher trying to see if he can try and grab 8 from Urisha, because that position will mean you'll get pole for the sprint race tomorrow. Urisha fends up for now and keeps hold of 8th place for the time being. Schumacher unable to get the move done that time around. Now then to go up through the right-hander now then on the track. So now they go up towards the right-hander now then. And Urisha doing whatever he can to fend off from Schumacher. But now as they come down the straight, will Schumacher get the move done this time around? It'll be a great comeback from Schumacher if he can get into the points after only qualifying 16th yesterday in qualifying. As they go side by side with each other, side by side goes Schumacher and Urisha as they head down towards the first few corners on the track. Side by side they go. Will Schumacher get into the points? Down the inside he goes on Urisha. No, not quite. Urisha shutting the door there in towards turn 1. He knows what this means and keeps out of 8th place for the moment. In the meantime, Ghiotto now finds himself back into this battle, and even Vries is now caught up to the fight as well. Stroll now closing right onto the backside of Mitch Evans for P12. As now down the inside goes Schumacher. Would he get the move done this time? And again, Urisha able to hang in around the outside and keep hold of 8th place. All of this is allowing Gasly to get a little bit of a cushion, but even then, these lot are still catching up with him. So at least Gasly hasn't got that much to defend at the moment. He could just take it easy through these corners while Urisha is busy trying to fend off from his teammate, Mick Schumacher. Pierre's teammate, that is. As now they will go up towards the right-hander. Schumacher doing whatever he can. You can see Urisha went very defensive through towards turn 8 there. And Vries is all over the backside of Ghiotto for P10 now. And again, Schumacher has a look, and again, Urisha positioned his car perfectly to stay in front. Ghiotto fends off on Vries and keeps hold of 10th place. Evans fending off from Stroll, went defensive through towards turn 9, so a lot of cars going defensive, and out goes Nyck de Vries with a loose wheel. De Vries is out of the race. A chance of points has gone down the toilet for the Dutchman, and De Vries is out of the race, and we're down to 19 runners as a result. De Vries out of it, and well, not the way that De Vries wanted to end. A fantastic comeback after only qualifying 19th. It's all come to nothing, and that's the end of his race. Meantime, back to this battle for 8th place now. Then Schumacher again down the inside of Urisha. Will he get the place this time? Again, Urisha just fending off from Schumacher there. Schumacher probably getting frustrated. He's been stuck behind him at the moment. At least he gives Ghiotto a bit of a buffer now that De Vries isn't pressuring him now after that loose wheel that De Vries has had, which has caused him to retire. Urisha again defending the inside, and rightfully so. Schumacher still unable to get the move done, unable to flip back to the inside to try and see if there's a gap on the inside to get Urisha for that place as they go through towards the left-hander. We have 11 laps to go, including this lap left for race leader George Russell in front in the Red Bull Academy car, as they will now come down towards turn 6 and 7 on the track. Flicking the car in. Ghiotto getting closer to this battle now as a result. As now through towards turn 8 we will go. Will Schumacher now get the place off Urisha this time around as we head down the back straight? Schumacher now then in the slipstream. He flicks it to the inside. Is Schumacher going to get the move done this time? Down the inside. And finally at last Schumacher gets the place, and up into 8th place goes Mick Schumacher. He's now into the points and in the place which will guarantee him pole position for the sprint race tomorrow. But it seems that Urisha and even Ghiotto are still keeping up with the German. They do not want to give up. They want the pole position for tomorrow if they can, as they go through the final corner and onto the pit straight we will go. And I'll be very interested to see who's currently holding on to the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race here in Barcelona. Meantime, down the inside goes Luca Ghiotto on Santiago Urisha. Will Ghiotto get the move done on Urisha? Down the inside, and he does so. Up into 9th place goes Luca Ghiotto, and he's now 1 place away from the position which will guarantee him the pole position for the sprint race now then, as his teammate is doing a great job up in 4th place at the moment. As now up towards the right hander we go. Ghiotto still going a bit defensive in case Urisha tries to find a way back through, but unable to do so. Keeping on the 10th place at the moment is Luca Ghiotto. As unseen by the cameras, Stroll has taken 11th from Evans, so he must have got him down at turn 1. So up into 11th place goes Lance Stroll, as he now tries to close up onto this battle as well. And now even Lynn started to close back up onto Evans as well. As unseen by the cameras, Ericsson has got by Ticktum, so he's up to 14th and now getting away from the young Brit. Ghiotto up to 17th. He got past Fenestraz unseen by the cameras, and now Ghiotto trying to close up onto Euro for P16 if he can. Razzie is still a long way off, and pretty soon he could be a lap down, as Russell's now on the same straight as the Willows Grand Prix driver, as we now have 9 laps to go in this race for George Russell to so far, if it stays like this, take his first ever IFMC GP2 victory and the team's first ever victory in IFMC GP2 as well. Red Bull Academy will be able to, at this stage, I don't think increase their lead in the team's championship, because both Lightbase Sony racing cars are currently occupying the podium. Because Rosenqvist retired, it looks like Lightbase Sony Racing, no matter if Russell gets the bonus point for the fastest lap, will be able to overhaul Lightbase Sony Racing's points today. Lightbase Sony Racing so far will take a chunk out of Red Bull Academy's lead in the team's championship at this stage. Meantime, Schumacher's up to 7th. He passes Gasly at turn 1, and up into 7th place goes Mick Schumacher. So now Gasly finds himself in that pole position place, but Ghiotto could try and pressurise Gasly. Remember, he's on very old tyres, Gasly is. So Gasly could come under threat from Luca Ghiotto quite soon in this race now then, and Ghiotto getting closer to the back of him as well, as is Urishia and Vries and Evans, who are within that group as well, as they go through turn 6 and 7 on the track up towards the daunting turn 8 we go. And Gasly trying to see if he can try and fend off Ghiotto, not close enough that time around to make a pass on Gasly at the moment in this race, as they will now go up towards the left-hander now then, as at the moment Russell is about to cross the line to start lap 32 of 39 in this feature race. They will have 8 laps to go in this race. Look at Ghiotto now all over the backside of Pierre Gasly as they go through towards the final 2 corners on the track. Will Ghiotto get the move done on Pierre Gasly? This is the battle to see who's going to get pole for the sprint race tomorrow. Ghiotto now then looking to the inside. Will he get the place of Pierre Gasly as they head down towards the pit straight on the track? Heading down towards turn 1. Is Ghiotto going to get the move done on Pierre Gasly? Down to the inside he goes. Has he got the place? No, not quite. Gasly shutting the door there on Ghiotto as Stroll looks to the inside of Urishia, who just is able to fend off for the moment, and he brings Evans back into that fight for 10th place now. They're now down towards turn 4. Will Ghiotto get the place of Gasly this time? Down the inside he goes. Has he got the place off him now then? Down the inside, and he does so. Up into 8th place goes Luca Ghiotto. He gets into the points place, as up into 10th place goes Lance Stroll. He gets the move done on Santiago Urishia. And now Urishia having to fend off from Mitch Evans, and even Lynn and Ericsson have now caught up to this fight, and even Ticktum is starting to close up as well. Ericsson now onto the backside of Alex Lynn for P13 in this race, as these closing stages are getting ever so tense. But Gasly still able to keep up with Ghiotto, but it looked like Ghiotto they had more traction than Gasly, and Ghiotto is now starting to get away now a bit from the Frenchman, and it shows how much the loose wheel has definitely cost him in this race. He definitely had the pace for victory, and it's just all come down to nothing for the Frenchman as a result. And that's that really, as Stroll's now starting to get away a bit now from Santiago Urishia's Macamo. After a very good qualifying session from both the Macamo boys, the race pace has definitely not come their way, and they now find themselves down in 11th and 13th respectively, fending off from Evans and Ericsson respectively, as they now come down the pit straight. Will Evans try and make a move on Urishia? I don't think it's close enough, but will Ericsson have a lunge at Alex Lynn for P13? His head down the pit straight. Ericsson tucks up, he looks to the inside. Will he get the move done on him now as they head down towards turns 1, 2 and 3? Has he got the move done? And he has. Up into 13th place goes Joel Ericsson, and he gets the move done on Lynn. Now can he try and catch up to Evans, who's still stuck behind Santiago Urishia's Macamo car at this stage. So meantime, everybody in the top 8 has sort of settled down now in this race. As meantime now then, Urishia still having to fend off from Mitch Evans. We have 7 laps to go in this feature. It's on lap 33 of 39 here in Barcelona, as they just go out of that left-hander. Evans doing whatever he can to get the place off Urishia in this race for P11, as Ericsson and Lynn are now starting to close up onto that back end, and even Ticktum is starting to close up, as is Euro, who has now got away from Goliath. Goliath just hasn't got a response at this stage. Has just got a bit of a gap between himself and Sasha Fenestraz in this race, as they will now go up towards left hand. Now Urishia going very defensive there from Mitch Evans. Evans still trying to pile the pressure on as much as possible, as they will now approach the right-hander on the track. And now coming out of that corner up towards the final 2 corners then of the track. It looks like Urishia's got a bit of a gap at the moment. Meantime, look at Stroll now all over the backside of Pierre Gasly, his former teammate at Ecademy at the first half of last season. Side by side goes Lance Stroll. Will he get the place off Pierre Gasly? Is it down towards the pit straight, as all over the backside of Urishia goes Mitch Evans. Evans looking to the inside of Urishia, down towards turn 1. Will Stroll get the move done on Gasly? Down the inside, and he does so. Up into 9th place goes Lance Stroll, getting the move done on Pierre Gasly. Is up into 11th place goes Mitch Evans. He gets the move done on Santiago Urishia. Now Joel Eriksson wants a piece of Yuishi if he can, as he goes through towards the left hand and adding up towards turn 4 on the track. Will Eriksson get the move done on Yuishi? Yuishi defends the inside, and rightfully so, keeps all the place for the time being. Eriksson currently finding himself in a Macamo sandwich at this stage as they go down towards the left hander on the track. We're 5 minutes away from the 3 o'clock mark, 35 minutes away from the first race of the Season 4 IFMC GP3 season. And now we come down towards turn 6 and 7 on the track now then. Out of the corner we will go as we'll go up towards turn 8 now then. As meantime, as you can see, Norris looking lonely in second place. Russell getting close to Razia, who, if he's not careful, will find himself a lap down before the end of the race at this stage. As we're now on lap 35 of 39 here in Barcelona. We have 5 laps to go for George Russell to take his first ever victory in IFMC GP2 and Red Bull Academy's first ever victory as well. On top of that, his and Red Bull Academy's first ever victory, I should say, as a great way to pay tribute to Robert Hunter's late grandfather, who passed away a fortnight ago. That's why they're wearing a black tip on the front nose to pay respects to his grandfather there then, as they go through towards turn 6 and 7 on the track. As meantime, it looks like Matsushita is starting to close up a bit to Palmer. Whether he'll have enough time or not, I'm not sure, but we'll wait and see on that. As meantime, now Gasly's coming under pressure from Evans. His tyres are definitely wearing off. Elevator nuts, because now Evans is now starting to go all over the backside of him. Down the inside goes Mitch Evans. Has he got the place of Pierre Gasly? And he does so. Up into 10th place goes Mitch Evans. And now Gasly will have to fend off from Eriksson, Eurasia and Lynn. On seen by the cameras, Eriksson has taken 12th from Eurasia. So over to P12 goes the young Swedish driver. Great recovery after his qualifying ban, which saw him in 22nd. He has gained 10 places with him, so it's a great comeback from the young Swedish driver, as they will now go up towards turn 8 on the track, as Gasly goes very defensive there on Joel Eriksson. In the meantime, Lynn and Eurasia, the two Macaro teammates, fight it out for P13. Is now Eriksson looking to the inside of Pierre Gasly, but Gasly shuts the door and keeps on the place for the time being. Eurasia fending off from teammate Lynn at this stage is Tictum, and Euro now start to close up to this battle as well. They're trying to get themselves involved as best as possible now then, as they head down towards the right hand. 4 laps to go for race leader George Russell in this race now then, as they go out of turn 4 on the track now then. As meantime, at this rate, I think Russell will lead the Drivers' Championship if it stays like this. So I think George Russell will be leading it by the end of this race if it stays like this, because he was 1 point behind Rosenqvist going into this race. So Russell will be leading the championship by the end of this race if it stays like this at the moment. And at the moment, in terms of what the sprint race grid is going to look like, it's going to be Ghiotto who'll be on pole ahead of Schumacher, Matsushita, Palmer, Sirotkin, Nato, Norris and Russell. That's how it will look for the sprint race tomorrow. As meantime, as you can see, Gasly now holding up a train of cars. Haven't started to get away as Gasly having to fend off from Eriksson, Eurasia, Lynn, Tictum and pretty soon Yoa as well. So that's a train of cars right behind the Frenchman. It shows how long he's been on those tyres for after the loose wheel. That has effectively cost him the victory, and pretty much Gasly's pretty much paying the price for it as a result, as they go through turn 6 and 7 on the track up towards the right hand wheel go. And now Eriksson all over the backside of Gasly as they go down towards the back straight towards left-hander. Will Eriksson get the move done as they go down the inside towards the left-hander, and again Gasly covers Eriksson off as down the inside goes Lynn on Eurasia, and he gets the place. Up into 13th place goes Alex Lynn, getting by on teammate Santiago Eurasia, but still no points look to be coming their way from Macaro after a very... Despite having a good qualifying session, it's all going to come to naught. Meantime, Euro is now all over the backside of Tictum for P15 as they go through the final few corners on track. As will, in fact, Eurasia trying to get back on Lynn. As meantime, Eriksson all over the backside of Gasly. He looks to the inside. Will he get the move done? 3 laps remaining in this feature race here in Barcelona as he now head down towards the first few corners on the track. Will Eriksson get the move done on Gasly? Down the inside he goes. And I think he's done it. No, Gasly's still hanging in around the outside, and Gasly looks to keep out of 11th, but he looks like Eriksson's now hanging in around the outside, and Eriksson takes the place. Up into P11 goes Joel Eriksson. Len just able to hold off from Eurasia at that corner. Euro takes 15th from Tictum in towards turn 1. There's Gasly now gets back down the inside of Joel Eriksson. He's not giving up. He's trying to see how much life he's got left in the tyres, but Eriksson able to hang in around the outside, and he keeps hold of 11th place. There's Gasly now going defensive from the 2 Macamo cars, and Euro and Tictum, and now even Goliath and Fenestras are now starting to close up on this train of cars that are fighting it out for P12 now. Then it shows how much backwards Pierre is going after being on those tyres for so long, as now they'll go up towards the right-hander on the track. As meantime, Russell will soon be starting his penultimate lap. He is on his penultimate lap, so 2 laps to go for race leader George Russell, as they will now go through the turn 3. We're now at the 3 o'clock mark, so half an hour to go until the first race of IFMC GP3, which is coming up in half an hour's time, as mentioned. As now Russell's coming up to that bit of traffic in the form of Louis Razier, and it looks like Razier may be a lap down before the race is even finished, as a result of what has happened to him. Due to the contact that was unseen by the cameras with Yuri Vips, which caused Vips to retire from the race. And now Russell going through the left and right-hander now then on the track as we go up towards the right-hander. Meantime, now then, as you can see, Schumacher currently 7th. Looks like it's going to be a front row start for him in tomorrow's sprint race, but it looks like Ghiotto's going to get pole, unless Stroll, as I say, because Stroll is now starting to close up onto Luca Ghiotto for P8. He's only got about 1 3/4 laps left, so if he wants that pole position for tomorrow's sprint race, he's got to get the hammer down and try and find a way through on Luca Ghiotto if he can now then, as they head down the hill towards turn 6 and 7 on the track. As unseen by the cameras, Ticktum and Lynn have gained a place of Gasly, so up to 12th and 13th go Lynn and Ticktum respectively, as now Yura, Ticktum repassed Yura unseen by the cameras, and in fact Urishi is now down to 16th, so he's now lost some places as well. Urishi now all over the backside of Gasly. Will he get the move done, as Urishi also having a look at Yura as well into that corner? We'll get back to that battle in a bit, but George Russell meantime has started the final lap here in the feature race. What a brilliant race it has been for George Russell. He started in 5th place. He took advantage of all the issues that Rosenqvist and Gasly had, and even took advantage of the hold-up that Norris had. So a bit of luck came his way, but in the end, he was able to get away, and he is looking good to take his and Red Bull Academy's first ever victory in IFMC GP2, and well, it was a matter of time when Red Bull Academy were going to win. We thought Rosenqvist would be the first to do it, but it looks like that Russell's going to be the first to do it for the team. As meantime, side by side goes Yura on Gasly. Would he take 14th off the Frenchman as he head down towards the turn 1? Has he got the place? No, Gasly fends off for the time being, as Euricia has lost 17th. Lost 16th to Goliath, so up to 16th goes Sean Goliath, as now Euricia having to fend off from Sasha Fenestraz. It looks like Razzie is just going to be able to finish the final lap as a result, so Russell won't have a chance to lap him, but that doesn't matter, because here comes George Russell now. They're coming around the final 2 corners. He has done a splendid job. Round the final corner he goes now to an exciting race. It is going to be George Russell who wins the feature race here in Barcelona. Congratulations to him and the Red Bull Academy team. He takes his and Red Bull Academy's first ever victory in IFMC GP2. It's been a long time coming for George, but he finally takes the top step, as does Red Bull Academy. Lando Norris crosses the line in 2nd. Nato finishes in 3rd. Sergey Sirotkin, a brilliant 4th after only qualifying 10th. Jolyon Palmer will cross the line 5th. Nobuharu Matsushita gets Holy Trinity Racing's first ever points in IFMC GP2 in 6th. Mick Schumacher crosses the line in 7th. And Ghiotto is going to cross the line in 8th. Stroll just didn't have enough in him to catch up. Ghiotto will be on pole for tomorrow's sprint race as a result. He finishes 8th. Stroll is going to cross the line 9th. Evans 10th. Ericsson crosses the line in 11th. Lynn is going to cross the line in 12th. In the Macamo, it's going to be Ticktum 13th. Yura got 14th in the end. He passed Gasly. 14th for Yura, 15th for disappointing Gasly thanks to the tyres. Goliath 16th, Fenestras 17th, Euricia 18th, and a little bit later on, Louis Razier, after his contact with Yuri Vips, he's going to cross the line in 19th and last position in the end there then. But what a fantastic and very exciting feature race here in Barcelona. Barcelona never fails to impress when it comes to IFMC GP2, and he has definitely delivered today yet again. And wow, what an exciting race. Russell becomes the 3rd different winner in 3 races, joining Norris and Evans in becoming a winner this season. Razier crosses the line in 19th place, and there you have it then. In the end, George Russell takes his and Red Bull Academy's first ever victory. A long time coming from the young Brit, and well, what a fantastic race for him there then. So there you have it then, guys. After all of that, here is the results of the feature race here in Barcelona. George Russell won the race with Lando Norris in 2nd. Nato finished in 3rd. With Sergey Sirotkin 4th. Jolyon Palmer finished in 5th. With Nobuharu Matsushita 6th. Mick Schumacher 7th. Luca Ghiotto in 8th. For Lance Stroll 9th. Mitch Evans 10th. Joel Eriksson 11th. Alex Lynn 12th. Dan Ticktum 13th. Lucas Ghiotto in 14th. And if we scroll down the rest of the field, is Pierre Gasly 15th, Sean Galayo 16th, Sacha Fenestraz 17th, Santiago Urrutia in 18th, Louis Razia, the last of the finishers, in 19th. The three retirements were Nyck de Vries, Yuri Vips and Felix Rosenqvist. They were the retirements of the feature race here in Barcelona. So let's see who set the fastest lap of the race, who's going away with the bonus point for IFMC GP2, and it was Felix Rosenqvist with a 1 minute 23.272. So despite not finishing the race and only completing 2 laps of the race, within those first 2 laps he managed to set the fastest lap, so he goes away with the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, and he was 2 tenths clear of the eventual race winner George Russell in the end there then. So there you have it then, guys. That has been it from the feature race here for IFMC GP2. I hope you enjoy it. It has been a very exciting race. GP2 will be back tomorrow at 2 PM BST for their sprint race, which will see Luca Ghiotto on pole position in the East Midlands racing car, the Mick, Schumacher and Nobuharu Matsushita. But there you have it then, guys. That has been it. I hope you enjoyed it. The podium for IFMC GP2 is coming away just after this. But stick around now, guys, because coming up next is the first ever IFMC GP3 race of Season 4, which will see Ferdinand Hasberg on pole position with Joseph Newgarden second, and in third place it was Robert Kubica. So if you want to go and grab a quick drink, you can. Like I said, the podium is coming your way just after this for GP2. But until then, I've been JW1. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit, in 24 minutes time, for IFMC GP3. Until then, take care and enjoy the GP3 podium. See you in 24 minutes.